Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will now hand over her personal email server to the Justice Department. Clinton says she used her private email account for official business as a matter of convenience. She insists it never held classified information. Meanwhile, on the campaign trail, GOP candidate Jeb Bush blames Clinton for the growth of ISIS. Jason Calvi reports from the White House. Jason?
Brian, in his bid to win the White House, the former Florida governor says under Clinton's watch, ISIS grew. He says they disengaged from the Middle East and ignored the threat. Now Bush is laying out his own proposal to fight ISIS in his first major foreign policy address last night.
One of the gravest threats we face today comes from radical Islamic terrorists.
Jeb Bush speaking at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. He accused Hillary Clinton and President Obama of allowing the Islamic State to take hold of the Middle East.
It is not true and was wishful thinking by the administration to claim that the tide of war is receding. The reality is that radical Islam has been spreading like a pandemic.
Bush says the U.S. needs more ground troops in Iraq to defeat ISIS. He links the group's rise to U.S. forces leaving Iraq in 2011.
The administration of his brother was responsible for negotiating the agreement for the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq. On the other hand, there is some blame to be apportioned to the Obama administration for its handling of Iraq.
Bush said last night that Christians are facing persecution and being forced to flee the region. Senior Bush administration official Joe Wood says Presidents Bush and Obama didn't deal with the problem.
Christians in Iraq suffered enormously in 2007 and 2008 from Islamist militants, many of whom may well now be associated with ISIS and ISIL, but who were essentially doing all they could to purge Christians from the areas where they lived in northern Iraq.
Clinton is not only facing challenges from her Republican rivals. In a new poll put out by the Boston Herald of New Hampshire voters, it puts Vermont's Senator Bernie Sanders 7 points ahead of Clinton. Brian?
Jason Calvi at the White House. Thank you, Jason.